Welcome back. We are doing another one of our ABC build challenges. I did already post pictures of this because I was so excited about the build, but we are doing the letter N for Nunnery, and this is actually the St. Persephone Nunnery. I use a lot of, we're going to call them religious terms, but this is a medieval fantasy game, so they do not mean the same things necessarily as they would in real life historical context. I just feel the need to say that just in case. Don't want anybody to get mad at me, but there you go. So the nuns of St. Persephone in my game essentially exist. They help raise orphans, but they also, kind of their main purpose. Okay, their main purpose was I had female romance sims and I felt bad marrying all of them off, so I wanted them to have a place to go. But what they actually do is they have children with, whoever approaches them. They will have a kid with them, and that child can be claimed by the father as a legitimate heir. They are considered completely part of the line of inheritance. If that's the firstborn son, then he is going to inherit the title if the dad has a title, kind of thing. If the child is not claimed by the father, maybe he doesn't need a St. Persephone child, maybe it wasn't he didn't because they can also, the nuns can kind of do whatever they want. So it might be that the guy approached them, or it might just be they're like, hey, I'm a romance sim, I've got a wand here, and ended up getting pregnant from that. So if that's the case, they will raise the child, but it can also be adopted by a family in the neighborhood. Again, it would be fully part of the succession, so say a family that had kids adopted a teenager, but they only had children. Well, that teenager would technically be the inheritor. So obviously that doesn't happen too much, but they will adopt these children because they're seen as lucky. They're actually called luck babies. They're seen as bringing good fortune to the families. So that's kind of what they do. And they're also supposed to be kind of self-sufficient and things like that. However, they have kind of a complicated political situation going on in Adiran, where, the head of St. Persephone's is Severia Drago. The Dragos did not side with the Blumenthals when they basically rebelled. So she's already got something against her. She also did not help the rebellion very much in terms of I don't know, giving supplies or shelter or anything. She did not do that. So Arndt Blumenthal doesn't really care for her too much. She's a bit schemy. And so, yeah, the building has definitely seen better days because Arndt does not prioritize, the nunnery as needing funds from him. He's like, no, you're fine. You're a Drago. You'll figure it out. And Severia is very stubborn and proud, so of course she's not going to ask for the funds, so the nunnery at this point is kind of in disrepair. There's also the problem of she's the only St. Persephone nun in Adiran currently, and is basically an elder. By the end of her round, she did turn into an elder, which is not good because the way that they primarily earn money is adopting out luck babies, and then their families donate. Initially a one-time donation, and then they donate throughout the years as a thank you so much for giving us this luck kind of thing. And obviously other families can donate as well, but that's the main way that they have income. And Severia can't have more kids. So she does have a daughter that was adopted by the Cavalario families that is very inclined to join St. Persephone. She's a romance sim. She's got a woohoo want as her lifetime aspiration, so her name is Runa. She's probably going to come live here at some point. And she has some fairly decent connections, so that could be helpful, but she's only a teen right now. So, and I'm still developing this, I'm changing how they were because, I don't know, I just wanted them to have a little bit more depth to them, and I've always liked the Maiden Mother Crone kind of mythological ideology, I don't know. Just the idea of the Maiden Mother Crone that we see through many different cultures. And so I was like, well, they could probably have something like that. It would make sense. You know, they would have the maidens, which would be the girls who are not yet old enough, you know, to have these luck babies and to spread the good word kind of thing. But they would also have the mothers, who were the ones that were having the children. And then they would have the crones, who were more in charge of taking care of the children that ended up staying at the nunnery, because that can happen as well. They're not set up for it really currently. There's just not a lot of space, and it's because there's just no money for them. They don't have it. And if they end up doing better, I will add on to this. Like, there's plenty of space. It's a huge lot, but it just didn't make sense to have all these empty rooms and to make a laggy lot when there was one sim on the lot. So I built like kind of a big open common area. There's like an office. There's a little bit of like a parlor. There is like a religious rites area is what I'm gonna call it, with pews and a statue. There's no like sermons necessarily, but people can go there, especially Saint Persephone. Think of her as like Talos from Skyrim. Like, she was a sim at one point and then got elevated to goddess status, and she's definitely known for fertility. I'm showing you the garden that I'm basing this next bit off of really quick because I was very inspired by it, but I did not have green hedges, so we did purple. But anyway, like, female sims and male sims can come here to like wish for an heir or for more children kind of thing. Or even less common, but still they could, because there's not really another place to go, like the health of their children. If they're worried, this is also a place they could go. Upstairs there is technically 3 bedrooms. 2 are supposed to be like dormitory type rooms, 1 is Severia's, and then there's 1 where in theory any sort of woo of the who will be happening. It's like the special room. It's very fancy, but yeah, one of the rooms is completely uninhabitable because there's just holes in it. You can see there's holes everywhere, which I really have wanted to use that CC for so long, so I'm glad that I got to. I didn't decorate this lot too much, but I wanted to kind of show that Siberia is trying to like cover up the damage as best as she can. Just like with little things here and there just to kind of cover the holes essentially, because during the war they got kind of hit hard. And she doesn't want Arndt to know that necessarily, because she feels like he would try to take it from her. Like, he would claim the area where the nunnery is and force her to leave Adiran. Like, she just, yeah, there's no love lost between them. And so she's just being as secretive as possible. This is me trying to decide what I'm going to do with this space here. And yeah, like the room where it happens is directly above the religious rightsy type of room. Very official terms, all of these. Yeah, I had a fun time playing her around, and I'm having fun kind of plotting, okay, well, what is she gonna do? What does she need to do, like, gameplay-wise, to where I would be like, okay, it makes sense that they have more money. And so that's been entertaining, for sure. Ugh. I also gave them a ton of gardens. Since there's no kids, like, once there's actually, like, children sims that are living here, and there's more sims as well, like, I probably will cut back a little bit on this backyard garden space, but I was kind of modeling some of the things I'd seen from, like, traditional abbeys, and I didn't know what else to do with it, so I was like, forget it, we're just gonna have gardens upon gardens upon gardens. Later on we can revisit, because this space could easily be turned into more rooms. I do hate with like the turnips and the carrots and some of the other things that they don't fit in these planter beds very well. It's super annoying. Yeah, I'm kind of putting on like all the bushes and like the Sims medieval plants up front. I also don't like that you can't hit shift and just like repeat the item. You have to sit and click it. It drives me nuts. But I love the CC so much that I don't care. I'm trying to figure out when this is going to come out. Because I'm doing a lot of pre-recording because I'm going on a trip. This is technically slated to come out on the 24th of June, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm going on a trip end of July, basically all of August. So I'm like, yeah, I need to get ahead of this. And yeah. But this particular video, the only reason I'm pre-recording it is I needed to play the round, and I didn't have any ABC challenges slated till the end of June. Hopefully by then I'll actually have seen the doctor once more. Apparently if you have migraines, it just makes sinus issues a million times harder to diagnose, which is so wonderful. I almost cried when they told me. They're like, well, it could just be mimicking sinus issues, and it should just be your migraines like leveling up. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. So that means it's never gonna go away. Love that for me. Super frustrating. But I'm not being whiny. I'm not whining about it today. I have jelly beans. Life is good. I also have Judy Dog here, who is very excited. She stole a giant turtle stuffed animal from my partner, like kind of when he first moved in. He just had it for years, and she stole it. And she's slowly but surely been destroying it. Because that's how we roll. Isn't that right? My phone is ringing, but I'm not going to answer it because this particular software, pausing a recording, is such a pain in the butt. Such a pain. Cannot even begin to explain how difficult it is. Which I don't know why, but like, the other software was so difficult in other ways that at least this one works. Just letting this person know that I'm doing a voiceover, because why not? Very professional over here. I struggled with the trees. Like, originally they had like apple trees, and for some reason I must have the Maxis trees hidden. I don't know why, but apparently I do. Because that's what I wanted to put, and I couldn't find them. So I was like, alright, well, I guess I'll put other trees, which I like these crabapple trees anyways. Yeah, this is still me looking good. Come on. I do decide to use the dwarf trees. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Dwarf trees, as well as that clove tree, because I wanted this to look kind of like the inspiration image. Just how usable any of these are is anyone's guess. I don't really need them to be, though, because we have that whole huge garden in the back that is going to keep everybody fed. Like, I'm not worried about it, but I definitely wanted the image, even if it's not technically functional. And now we get to the fun part, which is me trying to find deco that, like, makes sense that it would be outside, but is very cleverly hiding all of the holes in the building. I would love at some point to have like an actual mason that I could have Siberia like hire to come and fix things, but she's a long ways away from that. I also really wanted to use these, but because of the pitch of the roof, I couldn't use them, and I was very upset. But yeah, I'm just like putting some blocks and that, just little things, gardening tools. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm sure if Runa does come live here, it's going to be a rude awakening for her, because she lives a very nice life right now, and while this isn't the worst life, it's not the greatest. I haven't actually gone through. I need to find more female romance sims. I know that I have them, but I need to find more that are actually going to live here, because I know that I have them, and this whole place was created for them. Like, that's its purpose. And so that I don't have to marry off my female romance sims all the time, like some of them end up getting married off, but if I can let them avoid it, I try. I also really love this, like, wall CC. Because I wanted to show, like, it's in ruins, like, it fell apart. Things went wrong. I love these big fireplaces too, but it didn't fit anywhere. I wanted to like cover the big holes with like fireplaces and wardrobes and things like that, where if you, from far away, you wouldn't really be able to tell. Because this lot is kind of out of town. I'm trying to remember exactly where it is on the map, but it's not in Endearin proper, so Arndt Blumenthal really wouldn't see this. And the only people that do see it probably aren't clever enough to be looking for, like, signs that it's falling apart. So it's fun. I do end up using those 2 statues. I use one in the garden and one inside in the religious rites kind of area. I don't decorate the inside, but oh, we're just about done. So I'm just gonna keep talking. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like, and I will see you in the next one.